Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for stopping in. So I want to kind of go over the wiring for the Yukon. I'll show you here in a minute. The Yukon. I kind of want to go over the wiring. Get a lot of questions about everything. I didn't really go over a lot in my 98 ILS swap. This is a 99 Yukon, pretty much the same exact thing. I'll go over it. I'll show you my notes. A lot of people don't like to share their notes online, but I'm not swapping these and selling these anymore. Probably this is probably the last one I do. So I don't want to share my notes, but take into consideration that this is for a 98 or 99. If you have a 96, 97, or anything else, it's going to be different. And even these 98, 99s might vary. So don't just do the exact same pins that I tell you to move and then get mad at me when something doesn't work right. So I have a clip that I recorded a while ago. I'll go ahead and put it in right here, and then we'll jump back and I'll fix myself on a couple things I mixed up and things I left out, and then show you something I changed. So before I start wrapping everything in the loom, I'll show you what we got so far. So this is all from the 5.3. This is all from the 350, the OBS. I went over in a different video what you need to keep. Here's the passenger side firewall pass-through. These go under the glove box. Keep your starter wire, grounds. I think this is for the portal drive or something. Neutral safety switch on the OBS harness, but then you keep the transmission control on the 5.3 harness. Keep your AC stuff if you want to keep your AC. Hood light. The oil pressure gauge. The 5.3 computer does not read oil pressure. So you use the 5.7, the 350 oil pressure sensor. Keep that. You can use, I think you can use a 99-302 oil pressure sensor. It worked for me. If you have the single wire, this one's a single wire. Some of them, like the 98 I had, it was 3-wire, and the only difference is the 2 or 3. Anyway, there's one wire which is this. It just reads oil pressure. The other one that has more wires, it's a second feed for your fuel pump. If you have oil pressure, it'll send voltage or whatever to the fuel pump. So if you lose a relay or something for your fuel pump, this will supplement it. I don't know why they did that. Obviously they changed their mind. This is a 99. This is just a ground. I grounded the two harnesses together. Probably a good idea. So you just want everything to be grounded. This is the driver's side firewall plug. Some more, I think, ABS stuff. Four-wheel drive or something. You want to keep your ABS, and obviously keep it all. This is the fuse box just for the LS harness. Kind of bare, all that stuff. If you do a complete standalone, you'll have more relays, because you'll have to have like a starter relay and a run relay and whatever else. So essentially, all of the pink wires need to be hooked to a relay so they turn on when you turn your key on. Orange is constant hot. And there's a constant hot from the OBS fuse block. There's 2 pins on the LS computer. Plug them into there. You need constant power for this. This fuse block already has some studs on it, so I just tapped it in right there. It looks like an absolute rat's nest. It kind of is, but just be neat, which this doesn't look neat at all. But I know everything's going, so it's not a huge deal, but keep track. Use tape or zip ties to kind of like clamp off, or wherever things split off. This is the plug in the 5.3 fuse block that you're going to pull out. Here's all the pink wires I was telling you about. These are what need to be keyed on with the key. So there'll be like your injector controls, your coil packs, your mass airflow, O2 sensors, computer, and a couple, I think that's it. Most of the stuff in this block you don't even need, because this goes to things in the truck, which you no longer have. But before I laid them all together, I wanted to show you, them side by side. Now I'll put them together and kind of make them more neat. And then you obviously get loom or something, split wire loom to cover everything up. So here is the inside of the Yukon. I just posted a video a while back, a week ago. The tow haul shift lever install, go check that out. I'll link at the end of this one if you're interested in that. This only works if you are LS swapping or swapping to the 411 ECM, which I covered in the video, but I'll kind of cover again here in a minute. Alright, so here's the 5.3. Got the harnesses put together. On this one, I wanted to retain the AC, so I had to buy this bracket off Amazon. I'll leave the link to it. And relocates the alternator to this side. I did get a battery for it. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to take it back and swap it out. It's got a refreshed one from Pick and Pull. What else? Oh, I sent the computer out. Should be back sometime this week. So for sure, the next time you guys see this, it will be running. Here's the fuse block that I went with. There we go. So you only need really one relay for this. If it's a standalone harness, then you'll need two, or maybe I don't know, 2 or 3. But for this, you only need one. You need pink wires on here. I went to these. These are switched power, so they need to be fused, but whenever the ignition turns on, it clicks the relay over, sends power to these. These are like your injectors, your mass airflow, O2 sensors, things like that. The 4th fuse I got is for the fuel link. Let's see that. Where am I at? There it is. This guy, this is to get your fuel gauge working on your 98s and 99s because they're computer controlled. There's a way to have the computer tuned to do it. It's just a pain. Most tuners won't even try. You really need to be in person to get it right. So if you want it to be correct, just get this guy. I'll try and leave a link to that in the description as well. But enough with this. I guess I'll show you what I did with my notes. So these are the pinouts for the 99-302 drive-by cable computers. You get these from LT1Swap.com. I'll leave links to these as well, make it easy for you guys. Print them off, make it easy. And then also print out. So he has them set up the same way for the 98 and 99s. This computer has 4 connectors. And this is from another YouTuber actually. Where are we at? Oh, there we are. You can do it too. He LS swapped his Jeep. And this is a very handy wiring diagram. See, he has 2 relays. That's because you have the fuel pump relay, and then you'll have a starter relay too. That might be able to be kept with the factory ignition. Anyway, the truck, our OBS already has a fuel pump relay, so you don't need to mess with that because you keep the factory fuse box. So he listed everything, what it does. He even highlighted what, explains it, what you need. You need to keep the blue. Let's see here. Yeah, blue you need. Green is optional. Oh yeah, right here. Tells you what is what. So if you want to keep your AC, got these things. The fuel level. This is in, man, I'm all over the place, sorry. Fuel level right here. So what I did was all the things that you need to keep, like fuel pump, relay, control. I went over, that was black 1. I found it, fuel pump, relay, control, and I put it, black 1, into that one. So everything that you pull out from this harness, you plug into this one. Most of these will be empty if you've thinned out this harness. Some of them you will need to be getting rid of, like the fuel pump relay control. I think that's one of them actually. This is another important one, the engine speed tach signal, the output. This is not a pin in the computer. It comes from the injector harness or something on the 350. On the driver's side, pass through that block, it's E8. There's a white wire that goes there. So you splice it together, or you just put one of these LS terminals on it. So you buy a pack of these and you can crimp these onto the end. And then you make yourself a connection. So I just crossed everything over. It's pretty straightforward. The hardest ones were the ABS, the ones like that. What's that? The vehicle speed output signal. That one's not hard actually. So blue 15. Right there I did red 49. As far as the fuel link goes, you have 2 fuel levels. Let's see. This computer has 3. There's 2 you use. So there's, here we go. Red 54. So it came from clear 13, but you need that one, clear 13, and blue 9 from this harness, and that goes to the fuel link input output. One's from the fuel, one is from the fuel pump sending unit, and the other goes to the gauge. So you stick it in there, it changes the signal and makes your gauge work. Simple as that. There's 2 wires in here that you need to splice together. I don't know which one it is because I believe maybe it's the speed. I think it is the speed because the ABS needs to know the speed so it can function correctly, and the computer needs it, and then there's an output to your gauge. So there's a speed wire that you have to splice together to one pin, so it goes in the computer. So there's that one you look out for. If you see that one and there's already a pin in the LS harness, I believe those 2 go together. So when you thin this thing out, there's a so orange from fuse box. There's 1 orange left over from the 350 harness. I use that one for my battery supply. See that one? There's 1 or 2 PC and battery supply. Yeah, right there. So there's 2 wires, 2 pins that need constant orange, and then PC and ignition supply. Sorry. So 2 battery supplies, ignition and ignition supply. So you have 2 pink ones also that tell the computer to turn on. So that's one of the pinks on that relay that I have in the Yukon, is that it tells the computer to turn on. The computer really only controls the fuel pump relay. The starter is just controlled through the ignition, through the factory fuse box, so you don't need to mess with any of that. But that's pretty much it. It's just be patient, take your time, do 1 wire at a time, don't go pulling them all out. What I did is I thinned down this harness first, same as the other one. You don't need yellow, and whatever. On your tow haul, if you want your tow haul to work, that's the one you need. And the tuner, whoever tunes your stuff, can actually change that to like a race tune or an economy tune or whatever you want to be different than the standard tune. It can be changed. GM just likes to have a tow haul function, so when you tow something, it locks the converter up sooner and reduces shifting and stuff like that. So like I was saying, I thin this harness down first, get it bare, and then this one, because it kind of sucks, you got to thin this one out as well. You thin it all down to just what you need if you want to keep AC and stuff. So I kept all the blue and the green, get rid of the clear, most of the time there's nothing there, and all the yellow, which is a lot. Pull it all out and you're left with a very thin harness like you saw in the little clip I had. You move everything over 1 at a time. So, that's another bad one. Let's see here. Let's just go clear 1. And you just move over clear 1. Now, full disclaimer, I'm not positive that the AC works on this because the 98 I did didn't have AC, so I didn't hook any of that up. This one I want to keep AC, so I'm not positive that it works yet. I'm actually not positive any of this works yet because these are my notes from a 98 into a 99. The pinouts are the same on his website for these. So I would assume it works, but you know, full disclaimer, do this at your own risk. I think that's going to do it. It's kind of got rambling on. Sorry, this video is kind of long, but thanks again for stopping in. I do appreciate it. Hopefully this helps you out with your LS swap and your OBS, particularly 98s and 99s, like I said before. But even then, I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to work. These are just me making it work, trying what does and doesn't work, or finding out what does and doesn't work. So thanks again. Check out my Instagrams, endlesswishlist_. Take care. I'll see you guys next time.